How's it, guys? So today I'm quickly coming to have a look at the cattle and see if they're okay. It's Saturday morning. I was here this morning until about 1 a.m. It's full moon at the moment. Stock theft is rife. A neighbor of ours was hit twice. And while he successfully recovered his animals the first night, the second night they managed to successfully steal and slaughter 6 of his cows. So typically when it's full moon, I come visit the animals and I stick around with them for quite some time. Unfortunately, these are the things that we need to do in this country. Not everyone takes it as far as I do, but I'm not willing to lose any of these animals, so I do what needs to be done. Guys, before I continue, just a shout out to Dyslexic, Finbarr, Dineen, Communal farmer. These are guys I missed on my previous video. Guys, thanks. You guys have been there from the start. You've added a lot of value to my channel, and I've really enjoyed our interaction. So thanks, guys. Just want to say I appreciate that. If I sound a little slow today, it's because I'm a little bit brain dead. I've been looking after these animals 3 nights in a row now. So I'm behind on a bit of sleep, so I'm a little tired. So yeah, mentally I'm not quite there. Anyway, something that came up to me recently, and I had a discussion with Kenneth Ball around this, whom I'm really getting to know well and whose opinions I really respect, is the lost art of stockmanship. Now, what is stockmanship? I think it's difficult to define. But I nearly want to say it's the ability to see in your herd, the ability to see the unseen, that which is not obviously evident. It's an intimate knowledge not only of cattle, but of the cattle in your herd. Grazing behaviors, normal behavior. It's the ability to pick up things that aren't obvious. So I'm not quite sure how else to define it. Now, in today's day and age where we have computers and programs and you can have everything spit out all the answers you want at the press of a button, a lot of people don't spend as much time with their herds as they used to. And if you want a good example of stockmanship and people that have good stockmanship, I would say you need to go and speak to the old timers, the old farmers, the greybeards. I'm talking about 70, 80 years of age. You need to go and speak to the herdsmen. Because stockmanship is something that develops over time, after hours and hours of spending time with your cattle, observation, picking up on their little habits, their intricacies. And that's one of the reasons that I spend so much time with my herd. Not only because I enjoy being with them, but also getting to know the animals and trying to figure out each and every animal's personalities and habits and so forth. An example that I might give you is that I know by now, depending on the temperature and the weather conditions, where the animals sleep at night, because I spend a lot of time with them every month, looking after them, after hours. So I'm already starting to develop a pattern, and I'm already picking up that knowledge as to where to look for these animals, depending on the weather. When they're going to be higher up, when they're going to be lower down, when they're going to be between the trees. And you might say that makes perfect sense. It's easy to, it's common sense. Well, go and look for your herd one night, spend 2 hours looking for them, and then find out how difficult it really is. So, stupid things like that. Another thing is just Bella over there, whom you all know is a brand new addition. I've already picked up that she's a very good mother. And why am I saying that? Well, over there, we've got 2 heifers licking a phosphate block. Bella's not interested in the licks. However, her calf wanted to test out the lick and find out, what it's all about. I'm assuming the calf doesn't know about these licks. But these heifers wouldn't allow her to. So as the heifer came over, they were chasing her away. And basically, Bella came and cleared the area, cleared those 2 off, and stood by while her heifer or her calf investigated the block. Sounds like a stupid little point. But guys, mothering ability and good mothering ability is critical when you're farming with cattle. You know, there are so many aspects we need to look for and look at. The ability for a cow to properly look after its heifer. I nearly want to say to go the extra mile, to do the unexpected. Excuse me. I'm a little bit hoarse this morning. To me, that's key and that's critical. Another thing I would think is, for example, that little heifer over there, that little black heifer, her belly's full. But I've noticed that her poops aren't very loose, which tells me she's eating a lot, but she's still not digesting it very well. And it means I need to keep my eye on her. We have a sickness here, dry gall sickness, drooggalsiekte. And I need to be careful that she doesn't later on become sick and suffer from those consequences. And that's usually when they take in too much dry matter. They can't digest it quickly enough, and it starts backing up or blocking up their digestive tract. What is another example of good stockmanship? I think it's knowing what the animal's grazing patterns are at different times of the year. I read a very, very interesting piece on the Zimbabwe Ankoli Breeders Association Facebook page, and an old timer there explained exactly how the cattle graze and when they graze what, and that's knowledge that you don't find in a book. That's intimate knowledge of cattle, their grazing patterns, their likes and their dislikes. And I wish I could repeat it all here, but it was just way too much. I need to go and read it another 10 times to remember even 10% of it. But it's information that's invaluable. So stockmanship is just the ability to see things that aren't always blatantly obvious, to know things that aren't, once again, blatantly obvious, and is basically the information picked up over time from spending time in your herd, speaking to other like-minded individuals, and being able to apply that to your animals. Now, in the pig industry, very often if I didn't know what was wrong, if we had a problem, I would go and sit between the animals and observe them, sometimes for days on end. And eventually I'd get to the point and I'd say, well, I think it's this. This might be the problem. And if someone says to me, why? You can't always put your finger on it. I'd say, I think it's this. I just have a gut feel it's this because of X, Y, and Z. And sometimes I was correct and sometimes I was totally wrong. This cow hasn't calved down yet. She's getting close. She's actually making me very nervous, but I'm very excited. Hoping it's a little bull calf. If it's a little Senepal cross Thule bull calf, then I have an extra breed on the farm technically. We're an extra cross, so that's going to bring a lot of value to my herd. But coming back, so yeah, stockmanship is just knowing things that aren't obvious. Guys, I don't know how to put it. And I've found that some of the best sources of information, as I said, your herdsman who spends all day looking after your cattle, listen to what he says. They don't always have it right, but very often there are pearls of wisdom that you can take from what they see, what they observe, and what they believe. I've just put out 2 new blicks over here. That white one there at the back is a basic phosphate mineral lick. And over there is just a selenium lick. And the only reason I put these things out, guys, I just want to bump these heifers slightly. Some of them are looking very good. Some of them are not looking so good. Of course, to be a good stockman, as I said, you need good powers of observation. But you also need a good bank of knowledge, basic knowledge. And that's something that I'm aspiring to become the best stockman that I can. As I say, I think too many guys rely on computer programs and EBVs and all kinds of funny things that I don't even know much about. We're just playing time between the animals, seeing how they behave. Are they restless? Why are they restless? Why does one animal seem unhappy? Why do some animals do better than others? What do they graze? Where are they grazing? You know, stupid little things like that. And over time, you'll build up a wealth of practical knowledge gained from spending time with your animals. Anyway, guys, before I waffle on too much, I think I'm going to cut it short. Bella's looking very good. She's really settled in nicely. Her heifer's not doing badly. I can understand why her gut isn't working as well as it should be, because when they stopped off or climbed off here, she just started grazing the brown stuff. So she has yet to learn to look for more of the greener grasses, but she'll pick that up and I'll keep my eye on her. Other than that, animals are looking good. I'm very happy. These red heifers are gorgeous. They are really, really beautiful. I'm so happy with them. They've done extremely well. I think if you look at the bellies, they're nice and full. They're nice and sleek. That one's got fat on her. This one's not as fat as that one, but they're both in extremely good condition. They should calve done in about 2 months' time. And the others are picking up. They're getting there. Anyway, guys, just my thoughts on stockmanship. Those who have listened thus far, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And we'll chat again. Cheers.